Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now on with the show.
All right, welcome to 80's Reboot Overdrive live at the Blue Box Cafe. Today on the panel I've got
Rob Southgate,
Maria D'Angelo.
And what you guys may not know is there's another time-traveling doctor that's not really homage to this place, but Dr. Emmett Brown. He's actually a coffee aficionado.
Please, of course, I know who that is.
And what you may not know is that he's traveled throughout time, and he's actually personally told me that this has the best coffee throughout all time at the Blue Box Cafe here in Elgin, Illinois.
Very nice. You know what? I'm going to agree with him. I love the coffee here. So
yeah, most definitely.
I'm one of those red-eye guys. You know,
really
you get like the depth charge in there with the espresso. I'm all about it.
How many have you had?
Today, none. I have to be honest. I'm a little under the weather, so it's been just tea. But the tea is excellent. But normally when I'm here, what is it, like 2, 3, something? That's what's happened here. Yeah, Molly's going 5. Yeah, it's kind of an ongoing thing. So
I got you.
Let's not talk about my addictions. You just stop throwing stones over here, Mr. Glasshouse.
All right. Okay. Well, I had one cup of coffee, but what I've got is today's theme is going to be 80s TV shows. What I have is actually right here at the front. I have a pop quiz. So anybody that's interested in grabbing one, I've got some questions that are going to be in the back. We're going to try to cover some of these. If not, then we'll just kind of veer off topic and just be talking all throughout the TV shows. See, now I got some people grabbing.
Yeah, got to have the pop quiz.
Yeah, I tell you. So yeah, go ahead, pass them out.
Now that's another thing. These shows, what we do with Live at the Blue Box, I just want to address this for everybody. We actually have our own show on iTunes and on our website, which is southgatemediagroup.com, which is Live at the Blue Box. And we post all of these episodes we do there. But in a case like this where we're doing 80's Reboot Overdrive, we'll also post this on the 80's Reboot Overdrive feed. So that way you can kind of hear what it's like when we do a live show for that specific show there.
That sounds awesome.
A little convoluted, but I got it out.
Okay, all right. So what I want to do is actually, I'm the only one that's got the answers, so no one else has the answers in front of them. We're going to start with the first question, but I already have a sub-question that's not even a trivia after that one. But does anyone know what KIT stands for?
What KIT stands
from the Knight Rider TV show. Does anyone know what KIT? Anybody? No.
I should.
All right. Time's up. It's
Kinetic, Intelligent, Tactical T.
Guided?
Oh, well, there you go.
Like the kind of guided that starts with a K?
It's Knight Industries 2000.
Wow. Somebody really wanted that to say KIT, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Knight Industries 2000.
What, are you taking notes? You going to write a doctorate on this? Yeah.
Well, sorry. I didn't write that. But so really what I was doing is I was finding pictures and I posted it on my Tumblr, which is 80's Reboot. And on there, I came across a picture of the General Lee, and that had Daisy Duke, Bo and Luke Duke right there in front of the General Lee. And as I was getting this information together, I started to think, what 80s iconic TV show car from the live TV shows,
Yeah,
not necessarily
yeah.
cartoon, would you want nowadays?
Oh.
So thinking about.
I bet a lot of people would say Kit.
Yeah, and I was thinking of what iconic cars are there, and I came up with, was it Magnum PI's Ferrari? We had the A-Team's van. We had Kit.
Yes.
And then the General Lee. So, I mean, out of those four, and of course, if there's any others, which one would you want?
Charlie's
and kinda
Angels
why?
van
Charlie-
and Scooby-Doo van.
What? I said live action. Scooby-Doo.
Now,
doesn't count.
Scooby-Doo would be 70s, though,
Oh,
technically.
okay. Fine.
I don't know.
Still my
That
dream car.
A-Team van, that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
18 van.
18
Yeah.
van, that's the
Yeah,
one
yeah.
you'd want?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty sweet.
Why? Why the van?
But mostly because I have a personal vendetta against the van.
Okay.
I did a demolition derby a couple years ago, and I converted a 1989 Econoline van into a pink monster, and I beat all these guys. And the last round was against a guy that had changed a van into an A-Team van.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, and I'm
Okay,
like, oh,
okay.
come on.
So what about you, Rob? Do you have one of those iconic 80s
Well,
TV
no,
shows?
I was thinking A-Team van
A-Team?
because it's just sweet. Kit, pretty sweet. Generally, pretty sweet. Generally, if anyone's giving away an 80s car, I think I'll take it.
Sure.
What I had in the 80s, I had a brown Camaro that was a 79 Camaro. Yeah, it was pretty sweet until it would die as you're driving 50 on the expressway. That was not so sweet. And then I got a Ford Escort. Welcome to the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the back hatch would always stick. We're not getting sponsored by Ford, let me tell you right now, because that back hatch, it broke on every one of those 80s Ford hatchbacks.
Yes.
Yep. So if 80s Ford wants to go back in time and sponsor us, that's not going to happen.
No, definitely not.
We used to call them the Chez LS Scrots. My dad owns a car dealership, so it was the Chez LS Scrots. It's made the Escort sound nicer.
There you go.
Yeah, fancy. It's French.
That's like back in the 80s when canoe cologne was popular.
Yes,
My
yes.
parents had a friend that called it canoe. Okay, I'm going to have to edit it because my mom can't hear. I said you had a friend that called canoe cologne canoe. It was Jim.
So for me, as I was thinking about that question, I was starting to think of the reasons why I would. Kit's the answer to what car I'd want, and I started to think about how the reasons why I'd want Kit had changed throughout the years.
Wait a minute. I'm going to change it.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to change it before you say Kit.
Okay.
The DeLorean.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I said TV shows.
Flux capacitor wins.
I said
That's
TV
Doc
shows. If we
Brown.
were to go movies, that opens
I think
up
I
a
saw
whole
it
nother.
on a commercial, which was
yeah.
on TV. I'm counting it. It's the DeLorean.
Well, then obviously the
Pepsi
DeLorean.
commercial.
Yeah, obviously
Okay.
the DeLorean. But going back to the TV shows,
Going back to TV shows.
Magnum PI's Ferrari is what you would pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Only if you could dress like that when you're driving it.
We can make that happen.
But yeah, when I was a kid, the kid had all those cool functions, right? He had
Yeah.
all the gadgets, and you could talk to him through your watch and all that. But now, as I've gotten older, it's about being practical, right? So if I got a car that could drive itself, then I don't have to do the commute.
Oh, very nice.
So all of a sudden, it's like I went from a kid to, I've got this car that's going to go super, super duper fast. It's going to take me, do all that, like 500 miles per hour or whatever it is Kit can do. But now it's just like, just drive me.
Yeah. Right.
I think that's like the only thing left. That was why I didn't pick Kit.
Right.
Was like, what do I have a car that talks to me? You can already get that.
Right, exactly. I got an
It can park
iPhone for
itself,
that.
you can
so-
do
Yeah, now it's called
Okay.
Siri, and
Yeah,
it's
right.
your iPhone.
Exactly.
But just wait a little while. I'm sure they'll drive themselves pretty soon.
That's
Yeah,
very
well,
good.
there's the Google car that's doing that right now.
Yeah,
Because it
yeah.
steals part of your brain.
Yes.
All right.
This has got that little flashy light thing in the front.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing right there. That's like the Cylons. Very awesome.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so going on to another question. I'm not going to go in order here. So Super Friends. So we're going 80s
Yes.
cartoons.
Wait. What number is it?
Number 3. If you're following along at home, it's going to be number 3. So, what are the names of the shape-shifting Wonder Twins and their monkey?
Oh, their names?
Oh my
Their
god, I
names.
can see them all. I have no idea.
Was that?
Glee?
Gleek.
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 Because
Yes.
he was a Glee fan. Now I understand.
Glee or Glee?
But can you
like
name the
spit?
actual twins?
The twins. Yeah, the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, everybody always knows Wonder Twins activate, but they don't know the actual names, right?
Jan
Not
and
far
Stan.
off. Not far
What?
off. Zan and Jaina.
Wow.
Zan
Oh,
and Jaina.
I remember Jaina, now that you say that. I don't remember Zen.
I have no memory of this.
You don't remember
No.
the
But you remember the Wonder Twins, right? Wonder Twin powers
Yeah, I
activate,
know, I
form
can
of an
see it.
eagle.
I can see it. The 80s? I was on the cusp. Don't judge me.
But, I mean, what a weak power for her to have, for Jaina to have. You know, you can change into some form of water.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
it was
you
either
know-
like something hard like ice or a puddle.
Right. You know, I mean, you've got Superman here, you got Wonder Woman, and, oh, somebody can change into water. Whoa.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but she doesn't change into just water.
Right.
It's
Like
not
she'd
like
be
you
an
change into
ice
water.
bat.
Yeah.
That's what she'd turn into, like, form of an ice bat. Whoa, great.
Yeah.
And you're super cold, and this sucks.
It's not like she turned into like
Thanks, Jaina.
a typhoon of water. It was just a puddle. It wasn't
Right.
very scary.
Yeah,
And
bucket
at
of
least
water.
Elsa, like,
Woo.
can freeze you. It's not even like, it's like lukewarm water. It's not scary at all. And like throw a towel and be like, ha ha. Fix
Oh,
it.
no. Her arch enemy is
Her
Towley.
weakness is sham towels. Yeah.
Yeah. The ShamWow guy.
ShamWow, yeah.
He would have been on there as her arch enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, ShamWow. We had to read
Actually,
that
when,
one up.
when the two of them had a fight, that's what form of a ShamWow. No, you jerk. ShamWow or Space Heater, those are the two things you need to defeat her every time.
Yeah. Kitty litter. Something.
All right, so more trivia?
Yeah.
All right, so number 4. On Night Court, who is Harry's idol?
Can't guess until he's finished the question. You've been
Mel
disqualified,
Torme.
man.
Somebody yelled out Mel Torme.
Good job.
All right.
No.
Was that my wife that threw that out there? That a girl. Yeah, so proud of you. Yes,
Well,
nice.
I actually remember he would always refer to him as the Velvet Fog, too. He'd always like, it's the Velvet Fog.
yeah, I mean, God, just Night Court.
I love that show.
Love that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Fielding in his shiny little suits. and his
Yeah, John
greasy
Larroquette,
hair.
right?
Yeah, John
yeah.
Larroquette. Actually, there's, sorry if it's bad form, but there's another podcast that his son does. And he
Who does? John Larroquette's son?
Yeah, Jonathan Larroquette. And sometimes he would get referred to as, Dan Fielding's son.
Oh, really?
I'm
What's
not-
his podcast?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, dude.
Yep, and it's just
Well, we'll have to. We'll give him a little plug here on
not with Molly here. Yeah.
80's Reboot Overdrive.
Yes.
We'll check that one out.
Doesn't really look like him. He's very tall, hippie kind of. He's awesome, though. Yeah. Jonathan Larroquette.
All right, all right. So anything else about Night Court? Like,
You
you
know,
guys remember Bull?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard Mole was awesome on that show. I remember I used to watch that a lot. And it's one of those shows. The 80s had a lot of these weird sitcoms that really, earlier tonight we were talking about classic sitcoms and what things that make them a classic. So you've got to look through the other podcasts to find the one where we talked about that. It's funny because like Night Court, that's the one about the wine stewards. I don't know if I would call that a classic sitcom, but it was funny. Like I enjoyed it, and I really liked him. I thought he was funny. Like what's his name? The lead guy.
Harry Anderson.
Harry Anderson. When he was on Saturday Night Live and he did his magic on there, I thought he was a really funny comedian. I thought he was really good. And Richard Mole, everybody liked Bull, but when you look at like the lexicon of comedies, you don't like think of Night Court as a Seinfeld or something like that. It was just it was a good, funny show.
Right,
It
right.
was kind of a B show, though. Wasn't it on at a weird time?
It was on it late at night.
It was on late at night, yeah, because usually like sitcoms are on at like 7 in the Midwest. They're on between 7 and 9.
Yeah.
And this was on at like 10 o'clock or something weird like that.
Yeah, I mean, but...
It is night court.
Yeah, very funny, yeah.
Touche.
Yeah.
But yeah, very iconic though for me though. I mean, I just love that show. Just the theme song alone.
Wait,
Not
is
even
that why the
theme
morning
song.
show is on every morning?
Oh, yes.
What? Probably.
I am drawing the lines here.
All right, so question 5. Yes. Oh, we already have the answer, but the question is, what was the name of the detective agency in Moonlighting? Actually, I think you are Blue Moon Detective Agency.
Nice.
Miss DePesto? Yeah, we just saw her on, and her husband was the guy from, he was the husband on One Day at a Time. Richard Masur played Miss DePesto's husband on Bored to Death. Now, this is a show, if you haven't seen Bored to Death, it's on HBO. It's Jonathan Schwartzman, Ted Danson, and Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, wow.
It is a fantastic, completely inappropriate show for our 7-year-old. No. When he kids close their ears, when the male nurses a baby and he puts whiskey on his chest to make the baby go to sleep, it is horrifying and hysterical all at the same time.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, you can take your ears. That was security. You can open your ears again. They're not listening to me anyway.
Bruce Willis and
Sybil
Shepherd, right?
It's actually Moonlighting that got him the Die Hard gig.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was actually reading about Die Hard this week. In fact, I was planning on doing a little Die Hard marathon, which Martha wants nothing to do with, I'm sure, because by the third movie, she's like, it's happening again to him, and I'm going, yippee-ki-yay, it is. But basically, he had done a couple of movies before getting Die Hard. Okay, and they were because he played David, and they basically had him playing that same character. So Die Hard is actually based on a book which was made into a movie before with Frank Sinatra called The Detective. And yeah, I know watch me geek out here for a second.
Talk about some obscure references here.
And Frank Sinatra was offered the role of John McClane before Bruce Willis was. Everyone thinks that it was written for Bruce Willis because it's so natural and everything, but most of the dialogue in that script was written was originally written for that character.
Wow.
That's weird.
But the way he played David on Moonlighting, when they were casting it, they're like, it sounds like Bruce Willis. And that's how he got the part. Is it just fit? They were trying to find a vehicle that fit for him, and they're like, it reads like it's him. So everyone thinks it was written for him because it's so natural, and he's funny, and he's got these great lines. If they hadn't made that detective movie and had that book from before, it never really would have evolved into that.
Wow.
The more you know.
Wow, there
Thank
you go.
you. In my brain now.
I know, I just scared everybody. They're like, he knows a little too much about Die Hard.
All right, well, that's just a little bit too much. All right, so number 6. This is a MASH question.
Oh, yeah.
What was Radar O'Reilly's hometown and state?
Radar O'Reilly, where was he from? You know what? I know what state.
Do you know the city?
Unfortunately, I will say I've been there.
What is it?
There you go. Got it. All right.
I was going to say Olwine, Iowa, because we have a friend from there, but nope.
Can you spell it? What is it? Wow.
And what did he drink?
Correct. Ottumwa, Iowa.
Grape
Knee
knee
high.
high.
Knee high. There you go.
Get out of here. Okay, as long as we're talking MASH, we're talking shows from that time. Now, in the mid-'80s, that's when MASH had its final episode. That was the highest-rated episode ever, right?
Yep.
And it's funny because people now, some younger people, have no idea the cultural impact that MASH had. I remember I was in jazz band then because I was cool, and we actually didn't have rehearsal that night because the MASH finale was going to be on. And this is when people didn't really, most people didn't have VCRs. We did. Moneybags over there had a beta machine. Bam! That's my dad. But yeah, we watched the MASH finale. But then the next year, I forgot about this until today because Martha mentioned it when we were talking about Thanksgiving shows. There was a show that came out the next year called After MASH. Yeah. And I will never forget, it came out the same year that Cheers started. Okay? So this is what, 85? And my friend Kurt, we were in gym class, and because we were cool, and we were talking about the new TV shows, unlike my life now, and he was telling me that his prediction was Cheers would make it maybe a season, but After MASH, that's the show that's going to go on.
Did you bet him any money?
No, because I probably was like, yeah, you're right, After MASH is awesome. It's following Klinger. How could it not be awesome?
Yeah.
So what was that, Klinger and BJ? Was that?
I remember it was Klinger, and wasn't it Colonel Potter? Wasn't he on that one?
I'm asking. I don't know that one.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. It was three. Father Mulcahy, I think, too. It's
Okay.
like those are the three guys you really want to do a spin-off show about.
Sure. Father Mulcahy. Yeah, exactly.
Don't get Hawkeye.
No.
He's not interesting at all. Yeah, sparking from the motor pool. Yeah, Nurse Ratched, one of the nurses. It's interesting.
But yeah, I think I've probably seen every episode of MASH. It is a fantastic show, just very iconic. Actually, one of the later questions here about one of the regular cast members dying during the series, I just really remember that episode. Now I got some people raising their hand. They already know the answer.
Yeah, do you want to ask the question so we can talk about it?
All right, in the TV series MASH, who's the only regular cast member to die during the series?
No, wait. Do you mean the character died?
The character,
or the actor died?
No, the character. When the plane crashed carrying him home. Henry Blake, yeah, exactly. So they're Colonel.
And do you know what he did, his next project? Because he left to go on to bigger and better things. Do you know what he did? The Love Boat.
The Love Boat.
That would be bigger and better things.
I don't have a Love Boat question. No, all right.
No. Do you know what he went on to?
No, I don't remember.
No idea.
He went into a show called Hello Larry, where he was a DJ, and he had a daughter named Ruthie.
And she's on the Housewives. She's on the...
What? She's on a housewife show? Yeah. I don't want to watch those, but now that Ruthie's on, I want to watch it. Does she have fake lips and stuff on there? Because that's what those shows all have.
Yeah.
I just noticed her name on there, and so I watched it.
She goes by her real name? How could you possibly know her real name?
Oh, please.
It's Ruthie.
Ruthie.
Yeah.
I recognized her 4 years later.
Is it PJ Souls? Because I always think it's PJ Souls. Is it PJ Souls? Okay, PJ Souls was awesome. Remember her? She was in Stripes, and she was in Halloween. Yeah.
The MP.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was trying to place it in Stripes. So, okay.
Yep. She's the one that gets the Aunt Jemima treatment. And moving
okay.
right ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Got to move past that quickly. But yeah, MASH. I mean, so many iconic characters in that show, right? I mean, I got to ask, which Colonel do you like better?
Oh, Geek-tastic cage match. Bam. Which one do you like better? Come on, Maria.
I have no idea. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Were you a MASH fan?
Yeah, I watched it growing up at
so
night.
it's Blake or Potter?
Potter.
Right.
Potter.
Potter.
Like Potter
Yeah,
better?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had to be the one that in the most episodes I saw probably.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't remember Blake that much. I remember Potter. But
Okay.
I remember I wasn't supposed to be watching TV that late at night. So
Oh, okay.
What was his first name on that?
Potter's first name?
Oh, I
Sherman.
was thinking it was
Thank
Harold.
you.
I was like, it's the first Harry Potter. That would have been so awesome.
Yeah, I'm more of a Henry Blake fan.
You're a Henry Blake fan.
I'm a Henry Blake fan. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I guess I am old school.
You're old school.
Old school.
I actually like both. I don't really have a preference. I mean, I think they both have qualities that are interesting. I think they picked the right actor when they replaced McLean Stevenson.
Right.
Because sometimes when there's a replacement like that, it takes a little warming up. Doctor Who's a great example. People always complain when the Doctor has to regenerate, and the next Doctor, it's 4 episodes in, and people are like, I don't know. And then by 5, they're like, he makes me feel so deeply. He's my favorite Doctor. On MASH, Harry Morgan, that's where I got the Harry from. It was Harry Morgan. See how those brain things are firing like crazy? He actually played a different Colonel on MASH in an earlier episode.
Yeah, I remember
he
that
was one that was like crazy, right?
Right, exactly.
And at the end of the episode, they sent him to like a mental institution.
And,
Something like that.
like he came back. on
Well, then he
another-
came back as another character completely.
That's-
It was just the same actor.
Right.
Why? There are not enough actors?
I guess not.
There's not enough actors.
I don't understand.
No, back then, Hollywood only had 14 actors.
Okay, all right.
And they had a lot of wigs. And that's how
I
that
understand
happened.
they were like, hey, we sent him away. He got treatment. Yay.
Yeah, well,
Mental health.
But speaking
No.
of Doctor Who, that happened on Doctor Who. He played a different character on Doctor Who, and now Peter Capaldi is the new Doctor.
That I can't handle that. That would scramble my brain.
Tough.
Now,
No.
does anybody catch how Rob just keeps throwing this back to Doctor Who? Do you guys
Well, I
see-
think about Doctor Who a lot.
Me
I think
too.
about Batman and Doctor Who and Star Wars. And should I go through the list?
No.
PJ Souls. When the mics are off, I have something to tell you about PJ Souls. And no, it comes back to Doctor Who a lot because I'm thinking about it. But
All right, okay.
ask Martha. She's podcasted with me. It turns into the worst one is Wolverine. If I see a Wolverine movie, I can't stop talking about Wolverine for episodes.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
So let's just stay away from that subject.
So, all right, so I can't really tie in Wolverine to MASH, though. But
No, I could, and we're not going to.
but does anybody remember the name of their tent in MASH?
The tent.
The tent. The tent had a nickname.
Oh, I got it. I know it. Anyone know the tent in MASH? I got it.
It's not a question on the list.
No.
The tent. The nickname for their tent.
Chris Mao.
Yes!
Very good.
Bam!
Obviously, because they're very clean and neat guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, there's another one that happened, another replacement that happened. You had B.J. Honeycutt, and then you had
Trapper John.
Trapper John.
No, wait. Trapper
No.
was first, and then BJ.
Yeah, Trapper John was B.J. No, you had.
There was Frank, and then there was Charles Emerson Winchester.
That's what it was.
Was that
That's
Laura?
what it was.
BJ left, and then Trapper John left, and they got BJ.
Trapper John
Right.
left, and you got B.J. And then
They got Charles Emerson Winchester.
yes,
Correct.
Now,
Oh my God.
there's your question.
Who are you?
Who? Okay, if we go team by team, Trapper John versus B.J. Do you have a preference?
Trapper all
That
the
didn't
way.
sound good.
BJ. Yeah.
Trapper. Oh, we're gonna fight, Laura.
Okay, so you're Trapper, you're B.J. Honeycutt. You know, it's funny because once again, I'm right down the middle. I really like both of them, but when I go back and watch the show, here's the interesting thing. I'm a bigger fan of the first couple seasons. I love the show. But I find it's just like with Happy Days. With Happy Days, the first season was very different than the other seasons. And I was a big Happy Days guy, all the way even through Jumping the Shark. I don't care. We
had to bring the shark up.
When he became a teacher, I was still in. When Ted McGinley, is that his name? Ted McGinley ended up on the show, I was still in. Okay, but the first 2 seasons of Happy Days were very different. They were more like a movie, and I was way into it. Same thing with MASH. Those first couple of seasons, very much like a movie. There was something different about the tone of what was going on. So I think really, if I had to go with it, I'd be McLean Stevenson, and I'd be B.J. Honeycutt, and I'd be Frank Burns. Now, as much as I like Charles Emerson Winchester,
BJ
I
was
have a
before
firm.
Trapper, though.
Okay,
Or
Trapper,
Trapper was
I mean.
first. Okay,
Trapper,
yeah,
I
okay.
mean.
So
but
the
if I
first
had to
part.
draw a line, definitely Frank Burns, one of my probably top 10 characters of all time. That guy was fantastic.
Oh, he was hilarious.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
What? Why did I just looked up some MASH characters and Igor Straminsky?
Who's Igor?
Igor? What do we have here?
Male nurse.
He
Was
was a male nurse. That's right. But
Okay.
You look,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
the MASH
okay.
picture that shows
Chris is
up.
like
It's
a MASH Rain Man over here.
It's his mugshot of him as an old man. Great. Yeah. This,
He's over there. MASH 4022, 4022.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong, but
Change happened when Alan also became executive producer of the show.
Is that what it was?
In the beginning, he wasn't the executive producer. Then after 3 or 4 years, he did. And he
Oh.
the show became much more political and much more.
So, you know, and I don't mind the story elements of it. So that makes sense though. But it was how it was shot. It was a tone to it. And Happy Days had that same thing. If you watch the first season of Happy Days, it's very much like it could have been a film, and then it became a sitcom. Did Chuck? What happened in Chuck? Everyone always talks about that.
Yes.
Joni Loves Chachi. Don't you mess with Joni Loves Chachi. They moved him out. Didn't they go to Chicago? Weren't they in Chicago? When Joni and
Who, Chachi?
when
Chachi and
Joni
you have
Loves
the same birthday?
Chachi, I believe they moved to Chicago and they got that crappy band and the blonde drummer guy that was supposed to be like the funny guy because God knows Joni and Chachi weren't funny. I am so embarrassed that I watched every episode and I would watch them today. That is horrifying.
You'd watch every episode of Johnny Loves Chachi.
Oh, I'd watch it right now.
Really?
I'd binge watch that thing. I'd binge watch the heck out of that thing. Who wouldn't?
And then it went to Charles in Charge.
Charles in Charge.
Charge. Definitely a great
Yeah.
show there.
All right,
Not
who's
a
a
great
Charles in
theme.
Charge fan here?
Here we go, right here.
Not really, no.
Yep, no.
Random
Was it
fact
Willie
in my
Ames?
head. No.
Was Willie Ames your guy?
What was that?
Nicole Eckert?
Nicole Eckert, yeah. Yeah,
Do you-
and what was that, Willie Ames? Is that right?
Willie Ames.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember Willie Ames and? Is it on here? Is there a question about it?
no.
Willie Ames and Chachi did a movie together too. Do you remember that?
Zapped.
Oh.
Zapped.
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have a stroke
Welcome.
or something? We've
She
Well,
been
wasn't
talking
podcast.
about that for 10 minutes. Oh, Grant Goodeve.
Oh,
All
3
right.
second delay.
Are we
I
still
got you.
talking about TV shows? What are we doing here?
No, we are. We are.
Okay.
We went to Charles in Charge. That was 80s, I think. So. Number 9, you want to jump? Okay, who is the narrator in Wonder Years? Daniel
Oh.
Stern. Way to go, Laura.
That's a good one.
Nice. Just saw him where? In Home Alone. Okay.
You know what? I loved him. He wasn't in The Ref. No, he wasn't. He wasn't. He was in Home Alone, which she just said. You did have a stroke over there. Yeah, he was.
Did you know that already, or did you Google it on your smartphone there? The
Are you
narrator.
cheating?
You
Yes.
Googled it, didn't you? Oh,
So,
okay.
so Kevin has gone on. He directs a lot now, and he directs the show. I believe he directs the show Wilfred, doesn't he?
Oh.
And he does other things. He's a funny guy, and he does a really good job with that stuff. He also was in. Speaking of 80s movies, he was in The Wizard.
He was in The Wizard, yep.
I loved that movie.
Yep.
It was terrible, and I loved that movie. Yeah, he was the mole in Austin Powers. We've got a mole in their organization.
I remember that, yeah. Now, going back to The Wizard, was that the video game?
Yes, The
Was
Wizard
it?
is the movie where they're showing. There's a big video game contest, like in California, and they're debuting Super Mario Brothers 3 and the Nintendo Power Glove. It's the first time anyone saw that. And Fred Savage takes his like autistic brother,
Corky.
Corky,
Yes.
across country. And they have all these wacky adventures with truckers and bathrooms, and today
So
if
it's
it
like
was
Rain
made, it would be a
Man.
very different movie. And they end up in California at this contest, and this autistic kid wins. Oh, spoiler!
It's Rain Man.
It is. It's like Rain Man. It's
Yeah,
the
the kids'
Chris
version.
of video game movies.
Yeah.
Instead of doing MASH trivia, he plays Super Mario 3. God, I love that. You know why I loved it? Like if I watch it now, it'd be terrible, but I loved it because it was the first time you saw Super Mario Brother footage. It's
Okay.
awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
Got nothing to add to that. But anyone know Danica McKellar? What she does is she's like a mathematician now. Yeah.
Oh,
like a
yeah.
very, very smart mathematician, and she
What's her name?
writes
Wendy?
Yeah. Whitney, the love interest.
Winnie Cooper.
Winnie Cooper.
Winnie
So
Cooper.
Oh, yeah.
She gets girls interested in doing math now, so she writes books.
So she is the opposite of Barbie.
Yeah, most definitely.
Winnie thinks math is easy.
Yeah.
She should put out her own books.
So, but yeah, I just thought that was interesting because I had heard her in a podcast not too long ago where she was, talking about the different math skills and getting girls interested in math, and that was just her stick now.
Cool.
So
what
I
about
got
Paul? Anyone know what happened to Paul?
I have no idea.
I heard he ate Pop Rocks and died from it.
He mixed that with Coke, right?
Yeah, he mixed it with
Paul
Coke.
Pfeiffer.
Jolt.
He's on
Jolt
stuff.
Cola.
I've seen him.
There you go. Was that twice the sugar and half? Oh.
Twice the caffeine and sugar.
Yes, Jolt.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the tagline of that. Yeah.
Twice the diabetes,
Yeah.
half the feet when you're done drinking it.
Sure. All right, so moving on to the next question. What was the name of the dog in Fraggle Rock?
Oh, my.
Okay, now I'm a little older than Fraggle Rock. I did watch it a little bit, but that was not my...
That wasn't your thing?
I like to think of as like Wilson.
I was a little older than that. Like, I saw it a handful of times. Now,
Oh, no, this was my world.
I know that my wife Martha watched it because of babysitting. She would have watched Fraggle Rock.
Fred.
Sprocket.
Sprocket.
Yes.
Yeah, Sprocket. So
I
it
thought
wasn't
there
like a
was a
Saturday
whole
Night
world
Live
that lived in
skit
my
there,
walls.
but it was...
I'll tell you why I didn't watch it, even though I was, too old for it. That doesn't really
bad,
matter.
I don't believe that.
It's because I knew it was Jim Henson, and I thought it was going to either be The Dark Crystal or Muppets.
Yeah.
And if it had been The Dark Crystal or Muppets, I would have watched every episode. But instead, it was these things living underground, and they sing, and they wear hard hats, and I'm like, where's The Dark Crystal? So, yeah, where's Muppets? Let's start some anarchy, some Muppet anarchy.
They were kind of Muppets.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They
Did
do
you
have a
watch-
great theme song,
the
though.
theme song was the best, yeah.
Theme
I
song
can't
was great.
Think of it right now. Yeah, I just remember the theme song. I'd be like,
I was about to have you sing it for
Oh,
us.
no.
No, not
No.
going to happen.
Down to Fraggle Rock. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
There you
Down
go.
Fraggle Rock,
That's it.
all. Yeah. And then
That
pop your head,
actor,
and then down in front
I
of
believe
rock.
that the actor that played the shopkeeper guy, I think he just died recently.
Was his name Wilson?
No, that's the guy that you never saw on
know.
Tim
I
Taylor's
know.
show. You just saw his eyes.
Oh, that was the ball in Castaway.
It was the ball in
It was.
Castaway.
It was Wilson.
I thought his name was Voight. Ah.
All
Got
right.
more for us?
Yeah, I've got more questions. I'm sorry. I thought someone was participating there. Who is the bully who terrorized Arnold on different strokes?
Gordon Jump. Oh, there's a reference
Nope.
for you.
Anybody know?
No.
I know it. Anybody know it? On different strokes? The Gooch.
There you go. Way to go, Rob. Yes.
Okay, now let's go more obscure. Why did I say Gordon Jump? Anybody know what that reference was? Aside from WKRP.
Nope.
Gordon Jump was the star of the very special episode of Different Strokes where Arnold would go to the bike shop and Gordon Jump played the bike shop owner that was doing nasty things.
Oh.
Yep, it was a very special Different Strokes. Traumatizing. Look what happened to those kids. Willis and the chick, they're all
Dana.
dead from this because of that episode. No, he's not dead, is he?
No, I think they're,
No.
She's dead. She died.
No, I think they're like rehabby.
No, he's not dead.
Like
She's dead.
gapped up by
What was her
two.
name? Dana Plato.
Dana Plato. There you go.
Conrad Burns? Is that his name? Conrad Burns? Yeah, we actually have a friend whose brother lived next door to him. Conrad Baines. They lived next door to him, and he said that every day he'd see him like coming out to get his garbage, and he'd be in his car, and he'd sit there and go, "What you talking about, Mr. Burns?" No, he didn't.
Every single time you drive by the guy's house, they live in Brentwood, California. This is not like but he would roll his window down and scream out the window every time he passed his house and go, "What you talking about, Willis?" And then
Oh my
go back up. I keep driving. The guy's a media attorney. He's like very well.
Well, yeah. What's Willis or what's Mr. Drummond gonna do? I mean, this guy's a media attorney. He can't sue him. You know, he's got him.
That's awesome.
Okay, I liked my story better, even though it was wrong.
Now I'm trying to remember. There was like some sort of reality show that we were watching, and I believe we had Arnold on it.
Yeah, they're all rehabby.
Wait, a reality show that? No. Arnold was on The Surreal Life, wasn't he?
Surreal Life. Yes, exactly.
Oh no, he wasn't.
Todd Bridges was.
Todd Bridges
yeah.
was, and then
But
they visited,
Arnold-
and Arnold was like did one episode or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, but
right?
it was.
Rehabby. Thank you.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't Arnold that was on as a regular cast member. It was
Vern Troyer.
Emmanuel Lewis.
All of them are all gopped up on goop. They are
That's
messed
who
up
it
in
was.
their brains.
Webster, and he was actually really like awesome on that show. Like you liked him so much, and just like, what a great guy. Because
Yeah.
some of them go on there like Vern Troyer, and you're like, he's getting drunk and peeing in the corner and making a weird noise.
Yeah.
You know.
He's gross,
But
yeah.
with him, I thought Emmanuel Lewis, you just loved him.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think like he got sick of
Gary
like, people.
Coleman.
Gary Coleman. That's what I'm
he's
thinking
dead too.
of. Gopped up on goop.
He had
Rehabby?
no, he wasn't rehab. He had kidney failure, and he became a security guard.
Well, not after he died. He became a soldier.
He
Right,
became
I
a
get
security-
things out of order
He
once
didn't.
again because of Doctor Who.
He didn't become a security guard after he died.
Time
Thank
is
you.
irrelevant.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
some
okay.
point in the timeline, he died. At some point, there was kidney failure, either
Right.
before or after. And at some point, don't we all have kidney failure at some point if we
Yeah.
go by my timeline? And he was a security guard. And you can find pictures of him in the security guard uniform on the internet, which is
Okay, but,
awesome.
like two things. First of all, I feel like an old lady now because I'm just like on drugs, rehabby. But, what was he securing?
Blue Box Cafe in Elgin.
Oh, okay.
Security guard at a shopping mall, I believe.
At a shopping
Was he?
mall.
Wow.
Why was this not made into a
Like-
movie?
Oh.
We need to option that
Hide in the
story.
racks. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to be like.
Can
great.
you
You can send the hate mail to Southgate Media Group.
Can you imagine the torture this guy suffered?
Oh, yeah, that's what I
If he's
thought
a,
we can blame.
a security guard, no, if he's a security guard at a mall, every single kid, what you talking about,
Oh,
Willis?
yeah.
Just go to Lane Bryant with your
Just
mom.
like taser, just bang, bang.
Gloria Jeans is down there. Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
What you talking about?
yeah. I would go crazy.
Yeah, well, going back to Surreal Life, I was remembering the Vanilla Ice. You remember at the beginning of this, he was like had an attitude about everybody remembering him for his.
Now
you
he's
know,
on
rapper-
Vanilla Ice Amish, goes Amish.
Oh, okay. But then by the end of the Surreal Life season, he was embracing his, celebrity status from
His
back
inner
in the
ice.
80s. Right, his inner ice, if you will.
Oh,
His Ice Cube.
No, he wasn't Ice Cube.
No, he wasn't. But no, I just thought it was funny. During the course of the season, he transitioned from
Yeah, from being a jerk to being embracing his jerkiness.
What's his name? Van
right
Winkle.
to-
Yeah.
Robert Winkle?
Robert
Rob-
Van Winkle.
Robert Van Winkle, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I must just talk about this stuff all day because 2 days ago, what day is today? Friday?
Saturday.
Thursday. So today's Saturday. Thursday, I was talking about Vanilla Ice. This rarely happens. We talked about him today because we watched Vanilla Ice Goes Amish. Because I put that on and went, oh wow, this is genius. And then
So wait,
on
I'm
Thursday-
getting
wait a
cable.
minute.
I'm getting cable
So-
because of this now.
Now, before he did a home improvement show, right?
So that's what he's doing. He's there to learn these skills from the Amish and live with the Amish and maybe teach them a little thing about him. You mean that you sang Ice Ice Baby because that's really about it.
Right.
And you have sweet eyebrows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he does.
so that's what the conversation Thursday was. I don't know how it came up in conversation, but I was at a homeschooling group and we started talking about Vanilla Ice. God knows why. And and one of the moms said that her brother was trying to be cool. I'm busting this guy out right now. I don't know his name. So he was trying to be cool back then, and he wanted to have like Vanilla Ice eyebrows. And he took the razor to cut them off, and he slipped and cut the entire eyebrow off.
Yep.
And then told the mom the dog bit it off.
Oh god. No.
That's amazing.
Like one hair bite.
This has been
one-
this week has been my Vanilla Ice week.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
That's the worst excuse
The worst
ever.
thing. A dog bit it off. Really? There's no
Really?
teeth marks and the skin wasn't broken. What a talented dog.
He was a barber dog. He had tweezers, and he just ran up on my
He had
face.
tweezers.
And he's just like this. His other friend had a waxing kit.
He was threading, yeah.
Well, what you guys don't know is that for maybe 2 weeks now, I'm going to do is message Bob and just keep saying Vanilla Ice randomly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just to keep the conversations going.
You know what? You wouldn't be the only one. Now that we've done this, I'll be getting tweets and messages. Hey, did you know Vanilla Ice is doing this? It'll be like a weird, like, I'm like a lazy stalker.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, of course we know.
Know what?
Like, whatever Vanilla Ice is doing.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, I don't know what Willie Ames is doing, and that's something I'm going to have to look into.
He's angry.
He's angry. Don't make him angry.
All right, so next question. In Family Ties, who is Alex P. Keaton's idol? All right, did you Google?
No, I knew this one.
Actually, no. Nixon. My wife gets
Nixon!
it right.
It was
Yes.
Nixon! It was Nixon.
Yes. Oh, he was a fan of, Reagan, of course, but yeah.
Huh.
You don't remember
There's a
that?
hole in my brain somewhere. Yeah.
Did you
No, I
watch
just
Family
remember,
Ties?
Yeah, like popped collars. Like,
Popped collars?
Like the preppy, like poppy collar.
That's
like,
what you remember is just a poppy collar?
Like Alex P. Keaton, he was cool, but
I
he
just
was
remember
cool.
thinking he's
Like-
going to be in Back to the Future. That's what I watched thinking
yeah.
was about Back to the Future.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now, I wasn't a big Family Ties fan. I watched it.
Yeah.
We watched everything. We didn't have all these great options, so you watched stuff like this. You know what? That's not one that gets me.
No.
I could sing the theme song, though, but I'm not going to. Because I'll get the words wrong, and it's really horrifying. But
We watched it recently, though, and we couldn't even sit through
no, you can't even sit through it.
it. So bad.
Family Ties.
Should never have been on screen.
Sally Struthers wasn't in that.
Tina
Tina
Yothers. Tina
Sally
Yothers.
Struthers, whatever. Same
Oh, yeah,
thing.
she's in a punk band. Did you know that?
A what?
She has like her own punk band.
Punk. Okay.
Yeah,
Punk
Tina
band.
Yothers.
Okay, I can see that. See, they're all kind of screwed up. Like the angling.
Why is
and
that
I'm all
screwed
for
up that
punk
she's in a
bands.
punk
That's great. But
band?
you gotta have like a certain amount of anger in there.
Well,
At least
yeah.
she's not doing drugs.
Okay.
Go-
Don't do drugs.
Don't
What
do
are you?
drugs.
You're the mom in Almost Famous.
No.
Don't do drugs.
I know, right? And I because I always like say inappropriate things, and then there's always like some kid around, and I always
What was
say
that?
like stay in school. Oh, there's a side trivia game going on.
Yeah, yeah.
There's another trivia.
And I was like, I forgot I was on a podcast.
All right. What do we got? What do we got?
Oh, we got another question here. What was the name of the bar on Dukes of Hazzard?
Oh, Dukes of Hazzard bar. Oh God, I love Dukes
was
of
like-
Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard bar.
Do you know what's crazy?
Green,
I
old-
watched half an episode of Dukes of Hazzard this week.
Half
It was.
an episode.
I saw it on CMT. I was like, oh look, Dukes of Hazzard. I started watching it.
Why only
Guess what?
half?
It is because it is unwatchable.
Unwatchable.
Oh, it's brutal. I got halfway through it and I was like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Those Duke boys. And I saw everything I wanted to see, but it was awesome.
But
Wow.
did you want to like slide on the hood of your car?
No.
Jump through a window?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to shoot
Then it
dynamite
did
with my
its
bow and
job.
arrow. No, you know what? It did. He shot dynamite with the bow and arrow, and it made me want to watch Arrow. Is what it made me want to do,
Great, yeah.
which is what I did afterward.
Name of the bar is Boar's Nest.
The Boar's Nest.
I was way
Boar's
off.
Nest.
Do you remember there was a spin-off of that show?
Of
About
Dukes
a-
of Hazzard?
Yes.
What?
Oh my gosh.
It was a sitcom. There was a character that was on that was only, it was one of these where I think they brought him on for a couple episodes to introduce him and spin him off. His name was Roy, and he was on Carter Country.
Arrow.
That was a Dukes of Hazzard. Was it Carter Country? That was the name of it, right?
Yeah.
That was a spin-off sitcom that my dad loved.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh,
Yep.
look at his face. No.
Yeah, yeah. He acts like he did. I bet if we got him, go, you handle it, Roy. He'd start doing the voice right now. No, he doesn't remember.
Your dad-
My dad's
Nope.
senile, so he doesn't really remember these things.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Last week it took when we did Blue Box last week. It took me until the middle of the second episode before I got booed.
Yeah.
It took to the middle of the second episode again before I got booed. So I got to really up my game.
All right, so so Dukes of Hazzard. You know, that's the reason why I didn't pick the General Lee as a car to own, because I didn't want to have to,
Slide in.
Slide
Yeah,
in.
because they had them welded shut, right?
Right,
No
exactly.
door handles.
Okay. Who is the deputy? Best character on the show, other than Daisy.
Oh.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Roscoe P. Coltrane.
Every
Yep.
dog, every hound dog I see, I'm like, Roscoe Pico Drive.
Yeah, why?
I don't know
Why?
why. I have no idea. It's the synapses problem.
Do you
Yeah,
remember
I
the
know.
dog's name?
Roscoe Pico train.
Maria,
No,
don't
that was the
In my
deputy.
mind.
Maria,
What's the
don't do
dog's
drugs.
I know,
okay?
right?
Yeah.
Help
no,
me.
it was him and Boss Hog. I loved Boss Hog.
name? You remember the name of the dog, though?
Wilson?
Bosco.
No, Flash.
Flash! Oh, it's
Flash.
Dog, the Flash, yeah. So
He's the farthest thing from a Flash.
I actually read something recently. I have to look this up, but the guy who played Boss Hog, I think he died actually in the last year or so. And he was like an accomplished actor and got this role thinking, oh, it'll be a check, it'll be a pilot, whatever. And then it gets picked up, and he's got to be Boss Hog for the rest of his life. Because anytime you see this guy, you're like, Boss Hog, where's your white hat, your cigar? And he's like, great. It's sitting next to my Oscar, so.
Yeah,
Right. All right, so next question. What does ALF stand for?
I know. Yes.
There, alien life form, exactly.
Very nice. Where is Al from?
I know.
Oh, we skipped that question.
Oh, is that a
was-
question on here?
That was number 2.
I don't have the questions here.
What planet did he come from? Nobody? You know the answer.
Mork?
No.
No, that's Mork and Mindy. Melman?
Melmac.
Melmac?
Melmac, you were
Yes.
close.
Yep, it was
And what was his favorite meal?
Cat?
Cat food.
No, I thought it was cat. He wanted to eat the
Cat.
cat.
Yeah, he always wanted to eat the family cat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually this is not something that I would call a shame. You know how you have like these
I
secret
like
shames
Alf.
like it's a guilty pleasure. I like this. No, I wear it proudly. I loved Alf.
Yeah.
I think Alf was a very funny show. It was one of these written like a classic sitcom. We'll go back to that. Because like Small Wonder is terrible, but it's great cosplay. If you ever see a kid dressed like Vicky, awesome.
Okay.
Go for it. But terrible show, unwatchable. Punky Brewster, unwatchable.
Oh,
Okay?
shut your mouth.
Alf, incredible. And see, like
Pro
to give,
Punky Brewster over here.
Oh, yeah.
to give you some perspective, I think one of the greatest shows of all time. Now, I got to preface this a little bit. I think this is amazing comedy writing.
Yes.
Okay? And you could argue, like, well, Mary Tyler Moore or Seinfeld. Okay, those are great. Green Acres is the greatest comedy of all time. It's even better than The Munsters. I know. Yeah. Two boos. Green Acres is the greatest, okay?
Green Acres.
I would say Alf is not as well done as that, but Alf is in that vein. It's that type of like ridiculous, absurd, well-written comedy. Comedy writers wrote that show, not just guys writing like I have to get some jokes in here.
Yeah.
Actual comedy writers wrote it. That's what I would
Elf
say.
Because he was kind of snarky and had like a sarcastic
He was so
sense
well
of humor.
written.
He was funny.
Okay, did you ever see there's a YouTube video that went around last year. There's backstage footage. The guy who did Alf's voice did it live. It wasn't dubbed in. Okay? So they had the puppet. Spoiler, Alf's a puppet. And
What?
Yeah.
and the guy would do the voice. The guy doing the actual puppet was doing the voice, right? Just like a Muppet. Okay?
Yes.
And in this backstage video, it's outtakes of him swearing. Somebody
Yeah.
flubs their line, and he's
Nice.
like, you get it wrong every blanking time. And watching it is so funny, and you're like, I'm a child because I'm laughing at a puppet
Yeah.
swearing. But it is so funny.
No, that's awesome. Yeah.
I know, like, everybody listening to this is like, Google Elf swearing.
Exactly.
I immediately, when we're done, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so moving on to the next question. What 80s pro wrestler was turned into a G.I. Joe character?
Al? I know you.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I?
No?
Oh,
wait.
I did skip one, but no.
Oh, please, let's do this one
The
first.
80s pro wrestler turned into a G.I. Joe character.
Okay, I got to think. Does anybody know it?
The Russian
No.
guy?
Okay. A G.I. Joe former pro wrestler.
No.
The Rock. I know.
Yeah, no, it's got to
Real
be
life.
the 80s.
80s pro wrestler.
Andre the Giant.
Sergeant Slaughter.
There you go.
Bam!
Sergeant Slaughter.
Did he have like the butch blonde?
I have no idea.
Like,
I don't remember
The
his
way-
haircut. I just remember the drill sergeant hat and the glasses.
flat top.
Yeah,
Was
okay.
it like super blonde? Oh yeah, I don't know.
He looked like a drill sergeant. He really did.
Right.
Huh.
All I know is I drew a line between the two, knowing he was a sergeant, he'd be G.I. Joe. I have no idea who Sergeant Slaughter is. I figured he's a wrestler. That's where I got it.
Okay.
So that was how I scored well on tests, right there.
Huh.
Now, were you a big G.I. Joe fan? Did you know?
No, I didn't know G.I. Joe.
Okay.
I knew him when I was a kid. I had the 70s one with the Kung Fu grip. I had Bullet Man, which was the one that it was when they tried to make a superhero out of G.I. Joe, and he had a bullet for a head.
Okay.
Now they call that, like,
What?
disease when a character has, a bullet head. But, yeah, Pinhead, they call it that. If you watch American Horror Story, he's Pepper.
No, I don't, because I like to sleep.
But, yeah, that is – I had those 70s G.I. Joes. So when they did that whole reboot with the little guys, I didn't have them. But it doesn't mean I don't see that 7-foot-long aircraft carrier and still covet it today.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now, what everyone doesn't know, or you're not even going to be able to see this because we're on a podcast, but Rob and I are actually wearing the exact same shirt.
We
underneath.
We are wearing the same shirt.
We're wearing a
At the same
Transformers
time, we're
Optimus
crammed into
Prime
one
shirt.
We look like Rosie Greer and the other guy in the two-headed man movie.
We didn't call you.
Nerds unite.
We didn't call you, but yeah. So think of 80s, cartoons.
What is that?
You
We've
know,
got
we got our Transformers
shirts on.
Definitely not planned, but I just.
One of us has a huge hole in the armpit, which is why he's wearing a shirt over it. Guess which one? It's me. Oh, do you have a hole in your armpit?
I don't.
I'm not going to show you guys,
Normally
but it's
I do
really
though,
gross.
but not on this one.
See, now I wasn't a Transformers fan either, but I like the movies, even though I know they're not good, but I like them.
You're just a Megan Fox fan.
I like everything. No, I like everything.
Okay.
Even when they're bad, I'm always like, oh, this is terrible. I better get the Blu-ray. I love this. I'm like a
Laserdisc.
sheep for garbage, huh?
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc. If they had Transformers on Laserdisc,
I'm telling
bam.
you, we have a movement here.
Yeah, I think we do.
Laser tag with laser discs, and we're going to be in Tron.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Well,
awesome.
there you go. We can get those little cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go loose box later. And we'll be
Okay, I have a question.
You're just randomly yelling out, Scarecrow and Mrs.
A
Clay.
girl's perspective.
You got girls' perspective.
Girls, do you guys wear these shirts, these
We called each other, and we said...
T-shirts under your clothes, like, inside I'm a superhero.
No, I don't. I wear
No?
it proudly. The reason I'm wearing it is I'm cold. And I put the long sleeve T-shirt on, and it has a hole in the
Oh,
armpit
it's long
that's
sleeve.
huge.
Well, that changes everything.
And I went, wow, I'm really cold in the armpit, so I put a shirt over it.
Okay.
Well, normally I go with
Do
the
you feel
Batman.
like a secret hero?
No. Actually, normally I go with the Batman underoos.
All right.
No, I don't.
Underoos? You know what? There's a company making underoos now.
I have a picture of me as Wonder Woman. I'm like 3 or 4. I had
Nice.
the tank top and the underwear, and I am in my glory.
That is
Shag carpet.
awesome.
And I always want to like.
You know what? We're
redo
not going
those
to post that on the
pictures.
internet because that opens up a
I
whole
know.
other can of worms.
But now at Walmart they have like the quasi-sex, like I'm sexy, and I'm like, that ain't gonna happen. But I saw
It's quasi
this week
sexy underoos?
like a tank top and like.
Wait, for kids or
No,
for you?
For women, and I'm like,
What?
I'm not doing that. But they have like footed pajamas, like a full bodysuit, but Wonder Woman. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm
know
getting
what?
that.
Martha's Christmas is coming.
Yep.
You a big Wonder Woman fan, Martha? Wonder Woman fan?
No,
No?
but she's getting it. All right,
she's getting
that's
it, though.
awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just saw a thing. I think it was on Facebook. Uh-oh. Lucky for everybody, my voice is about to go. I think is it Old Navy?
Old Navy.
Somebody is making
I'm looking for it right now.
somebody is making underoos now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're relaunching
'Cause you
underoos,
can't
but
find
for
them.
adults, and they're not like it's the sexy Superman. Although in the pictures, everybody is like thin and everything. I'm looking at it like, yeah, the people wearing these are not going to look like that. Olderoos.
Yeah. Like way under.
Yeah.
I think I have seen that, but with
You know
like
what? You know
the-
what's sad?
the
I was like,
He-Man.
oh, I don't want those. I wonder if there's a Batman set.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's Boba Fett.
Oh, there you go. Boba Fett. Yeah, that'd be
know
that'd be
it.
the way to go.
Martha, Boba Fett underoos. That's right. What if I got Wilfred underoos?
Oh no.
So now Martha pointed out that I skipped question. What show would you find Gary Gnu?
Gary Gnu. I know that one.
My little brother would come home at lunchtime and he would watch this
No, Banana Splits was way better.
No, but there was a twofer. It was the banana split something at lunch hour.
Like
Right.
bosom buddies.
What's the show?
You know it?
I totally know it. Anyone out there know it?
Gary Gnu.
No, you're so wrong. If it was MASH, you would have had it, but you don't have this. It's the Great Space Coaster.
There you go.
All
Gary
the
Gnu.
news that's...
No news is good news.
Yeah, no news is good news with Gary
Gary
Gnu.
Gnu. Yep, exactly.
I remember the theme song.
No,
Great
Laura's shaking her
Space
head.
Coaster,
No.
Come on board. And you know what?
You don't remember the Great Space?
Once again, a show I didn't watch. I just retain this stuff, so...
Nice.
Yeah.
I like this show because I'm realizing that there are gaps in my brain.
It's
I didn't
so
know
lucky for you.
existed. Yeah, I'm gonna go and do homework on this.
You're going to go do
Or,
homework.
like,
Do homework on
see
your
a
80s
neurologist,
TV.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind
You
of
don't need to see a urologist for
Okay.
this.
we've jumped to like cartoons now. So number 8. Did
Yeah,
I
number
skip
8,
number
hello.
8?
Dave, you are just jumping all over the place
What
here.
is the name of the
It's the
diner in Beverly Hills 90210? The Peach
Peach
Pit.
Pit.
Oh, we got some 90210 fans. Yep. The new 90210 or the old one? Okay, I have a funny story about this.
You a Brandon Walsh fan? No? No, was it Luke Perry? Was that the other guy? Yeah, was that the one you were following? Luke Perry? What was his character? Dylan?
Oh,
Dylan.
yeah, like the yeah. What was his name? Dylan.
Well,
yeah, Dave had it right
I
there.
had to act like I didn't know it.
Yeah, right. And Brenda was on there too.
Shannon Doherty, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have
I don't have a funny story about it because it's about the spin-off show, so we'll just let that pass. What was the spin-off show?
For Beverly Hills 90210.
It wasn't Falcon Crest. That was another series.
Oh.
It was the one about the like hotel that they all lived in.
Melrose.
Melrose
Place. Okay. I do have a
Okay.
funny story about that. So a friend of mine moved out to California, and I don't know if it's still on YouTube. His name is Kurt Phillips. I'm going to call Kurt out because he's a funny guy and he's done some funny videos. But he did one where he did a series called like Welcome to California, and he went to like iconic places. But he's obsessed with like 70s and 80s TV. So to him, iconic places are the Peach Pit, and he is driving to where Melrose Place is, that place. And as he's driving there, he's talking about like, this is awesome. I found where Melrose Place was shot. It's an actual like motel thing. He gets there and it's a run-down piece of garbage. He stood out front. He was so upset, and it's not fake. He's standing outside like, this is terrible. You're ruining my teen years. I just thought it was really funny.
Well, to go back to the, taking the trek to some sort of 80s thing, this is going to go off TV shows, but the movie Goonies.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Kathleen,
well, I
do you
got a
want a
lot of cheers
microphone?
on that.
And
But not too long ago, we took a family vacation. We were out in Oregon,
Oh, shut up.
and we saw the Haystack Rock where they had filmed.
You did. Awesome. Did you go up and
remember
get
that?
pictures?
You remember that piece where he was holding up the little
Yes.
the bloom thing to line up?
Yes,
the,
to line it up
the
so you can see where
haystack
the
rocks and
treasure
all that.
was. Yeah.
And we saw that in person.
Oh, my gosh.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So that for me that was like the homage to the 80s. I was like, yes.
Oh, that's the
Been there,
greatest.
done that.
Yes.
So I just had to find One-Eyed Willie, and I would have been okay.
Chunk. Chunk.
Yeah, for people that don't know and thought all of a sudden the show went blue, that is the pirate in the Goonies. So, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah. That was definitely. Was that Pacific City? My wife's over here. I'm looking at her if she's going to be able to answer. She's not paying attention to me.
She's like, I've heard so much about this.
What was that? Cannon Beach, Oregon. That's right.
Cannon Beach.
Yep.
Fat Hobbit's in that.
Who's that?
Fat Hobbit. Sean Astin.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? I was not a fan of him in when I saw Goonies because you know what? This is going to sound terrible, but I hated that he had the little aspirator thing. It always, for whatever reason, when he'd do that, it bothered me in the movie. I was always like, ugh. I loved Chunk. I loved Gizmo or whatever.
Data.
Data. I loved all those guys. I just
I know. I'm like, I'm
I just wasn't in. I just didn't like him. And then he was Fat Hobbit.
I know he
And
has
I
something
now
against asthmatics.
love Shan Austin. I don't care about him in Rudy. I care about
Rudy
him
was a
as
great movie.
Fat Hobbit.
So you wanted him to pass out?
Yeah.
Now he-
Well, no, there was something about it. I didn't like that he had that. What is that thing?
It was a diverse
an
group
inhaler.
of kids.
Molly, you better
You know what? I didn't like the inhaler.
You didn't like the ending?
A second Goonies?
Wait.
Yes, please.
I didn't like what?
Did you say you didn't like the ending of the movie?
The ending? No, I didn't like his inhaler.
Oh, as in Halo.
No, it was the person.
His
being
inhaler
against
took half a
asthmatics.
star off that movie.
He doesn't like
But then,
asthmatics.
He likes
now
them
there have
now
been
that he's older,
rumors
he's
of a
outgrown
Goonies
the
2
asthma.
for a long time. Are they indeed making one?
They said another lady was in that had been to the same place you were, and she said that they finally got Josh Brolin to sign up and wanted to do it so they could.
Yes.
Of course, he's dressed as Thanos in it, but
They're supposed to be doing one where it's their kids.
it's their kids. Yeah. Well, there was actually.
So
could they
Goonies
let that
2
happen
/
again?
Avengers.
I believe there was a book written that was a sequel based on the screenplay that was never produced. And I heard that the book is a really bad adaptation. But the one that they cite as the sequel is there was a Goonies 2 video game that came out in the 80s.
You can't do that.
I heard it's terrible, but I heard that the story elements,
Yeah.
they're like, if they had made that game into a movie, because a lot of the video games that were off of movies were terrible back then,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But you can see the story elements. If you took those story elements and made Goonies 2, it would have been really cool.
Well, you can't base a video game on a movie that never happened.
Why not?
Because then you just have a video game. Just call it a video game, not Goonies 2. You can call it like Goonies, dot A.
Dot A.
Whatever.
Goonies dot A.
Version 2.
Like, cite it, I don't know. But
I love the
You can't call
Goonies.
it Goonies 2. It's not a sequel, there's no movie.
True.
You're basing it on a story that people don't know yet. Just say that you made a video movie.
Okay. You've got some
Thank you.
Goonies
Your mother
anger over
agrees
there.
with me. What's up?
Yeah.
Well, you realize you got a lot of cheers as soon as I brought up Goonies.
Yeah.
I love Goonies.
Goonies
But
is
then
a
you start
classic.
messing around with mythology, and then you're going to
Yeah.
get some people upset, I think. So.
Though the video game people are like, I love that game. I'm like, it's a movie that doesn't exist.
All right, so one of the questions I skipped was, what type of car is the Dukes of Hazzard General Lee? Does anybody know that
Is it
one?
a Charger?
I'm sorry, Dad, right now.
It's a Charger, right?
Yeah, it's a 1969 Dodge Charger.
Yes.
I look like I know things about cars. I know almost nothing. I know they use a key and there's a gas tank.
Do you know, okay, here's my weird, this is why I love Punky Brewster. What was her friend's name?
Who? Punky Brewster?
Her
Punky
friend.
Brewster's
Six.
friend.
Her friend Six?
Wasn't her friend named Six? On Punky Brewster? Or is that Blossom?
Yeah.
Blossom.
Yeah.
No,
And now
her
she's Amy
friend.
Farrah Fowler.
Her friend, I don't remember her name, but they were teaching her to drive a car. And it was
Yeah,
one
Blossom
with
is
corn
Amy
and one
Farrah
with
Fowler.
succotash. The gas and the brake. And it pops in my head. Corn, no, hit the succotash. Just stat. It was the brake. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just some random memory.
Now, did you have a stroke?
No. This
Is the
little.
radiation from what's going on my side of
I
this
feel-
desk
I
affecting
feel bad
you?
that I don't know the cars. My dad, over time, has had the Charlie's Angels van, Scooby Doo, the Charlie's Angels van. Like, you open up the back and there was like foam cutouts of where the weapons would go. Like Dukes of Hazzard car. Like, they have
I
remakes
can't
of these.
imagine that the
I
Charlie's
can't
Angel
believe I
van
didn't know.
smells good. I
None
can't
of them
imagine that the
smell good.
Scooby Doo van smells
I
good
don't
either.
think any van's probably smells good. If it has the bubble window, it's just guaranteed. Like,
Yeah, ooh.
yeah,
There's a funk in there.
yeah. It's deep rooted. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
All right, so a couple more questions. How many robotic lions made up Voltron? I'll get back to it.
We are almost done with this podcast. You settle
All
down
right,
out
so
there.
how many robotic lions made up Voltron? Does anybody know? You don't know
Voltron? How do you
Voltron?
not know what Voltron is?
What was that? What? You looked it up. Oh, gee, she cheated again. It's 5.
4 limbs and a torso.
Yep.
That sounds like a song.
All right, so I'm going to jump to the last 2 questions so we can get them in before we're done.
The only ones I know.
Schoolhouse Rocks in the song about the solar system. What is the main character's name? There you
That's
go.
it.
And she can
Wow.
sing it too. Awesome. Yeah, I don't have a conjunction junction in here.
I was going to say, what? Okay,
Interplanet Janet.
what's your favorite Schoolhouse Rock song? Conjunction
Yeah,
Junction?
conjunction junction.
Just a Bill is your big one?
I'm just a Bill.
Just a bill. That's awesome. I forgot.
Everybody loves Just a Bill.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
me, I think it's 3 is a magic number. Always liked that
like
one.
The Puff the Magic Dragon.
And there's a
song.
CD.
Puff the Magic Dragon.
There's
That was
a-
like that song sounded like, right?
No.
Three's the magic number.
No, I didn't listen to that hippie stuff.
I don't believe you.
There's a tribute album by a bunch of like 90s rock bands to Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh.
And Blind Melon does 3 is the magic number, and it's fantastic.
And Biz Markie does.
Biz
Biz
Markie.
Markie.
Biz Markie does.
I will be downloading
No,
that
he
today.
doesn't.
Thank you. No?
No, he doesn't.
Why are you
Google it.
toying with
You
me?
Google it. No, you know who you're thinking of? Watch this one. You think I was scary before. Too Short does
Too
one.
Short better not be on there. Are you kidding?
He does. He
Stay in
does.
school.
Well, this was the 90s. Who knows? I'm not sure if he's dead or had kidney failure. I'm not sure the order of it. But Too Short does. Hold on. You talk amongst yourselves while I get the song. Okay, don't
Yeah.
talk amongst yourselves while I do the song.
I think too.
All I was thinking was there was I remember
Mr.
that-
Morton is the subject of my sentence, and what the predicate says, he does.
Mr. Morton walks.
Mr. Morton talks. Mr. Morton loves. Mr. Morton sings. I got them all wrong.
He does do it.
Biz Markie.
Oh, Biz Markie does.
I went to his podcast.
Which one does he do?
The Energy Blues.
Energy.
Energy. You got
I
me
just had a
down
conversation
and
about
down.
him.
You know, we were
Yesterday.
listening to. This is going to sound super lame because I've sounded so awesome throughout the night. But there was a point, Martha and I, right when like DVDs first came out, we got the Schoolhouse Rock DVD. We're talking 10 years before Molly was born. Yep, how embarrassing. Now it's hers, and I don't have to be embarrassed. But I sat there and went through every song, and I realized what an influence those songs were on me. Because the writing in those songs, like the chord progressions, the way they structured songs, I'm attracted to bands that write that way. Like I hear, believe it or not, I hear Wilco in some of those songs. I hear bands like the Jayhawks in some of those songs. Little things about it. And I was listening, and I'm like, I hear this in here, and that's the stuff I'm the most attracted to. And I wonder if it's because of Schoolhouse Rock. I am not attracted to Biz Markie songs.
I don't know why.
Because he's awesome, but
Yeah. Just talked about him yesterday. Well, you're probably talking about Vanilla Ice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But actually, I remembered as you were talking about that. I remembered an album where like Liz Phair redid the Banana Splits theme song.
We have that one too. Saturday
And
morning. It was
Matthew
a great one.
Sweet did Scooby Doo.
Shut up. Matthew Sweet doing Scooby Doo is fantastic.
Does an awesome song.
Yeah, that's
He
a
did a
really
great
good
version of that.
You should seek that one out. If you like Saturday morning cartoons, that one, it's got like the kids watching the TV and their eyes are like bugging out. It's all freaky. And
Right.
it's got all these, alternative bands doing Saturday morning cartoon themes, and it's awesome.
Oh, cool.
One of them on there is the Lidsville song, which I don't remember Lidsville.
I don't.
But when we were living in Minneapolis, that came out, and I'd gotten it. And everybody there was like, "Oh God, Lidsville! I love that show." So it must have been a regional. That was a Sid and Marty Krofft show. We had Huff and Puff. They had Lidsville.
Huff
Oh,
and
okay.
Puff?
HR Puff and Stuff.
Puff and Stuff.
There you go.
We had that.
What?
When we're back to the van with the bubble.
HR Puff and Stuff.
Okay, did you have Captain Kangaroo here?
Of course, we had
Okay.
Captain Kangaroo.
This is my question for you. Was there more than one Captain Kangaroo?
No.
No.
Because he broadcast from Kalamazoo, Michigan. I grew up in
Yeah,
Michigan.
that was him.
Okay.
It was Bob
So he was like-
Cumbers or something. Bob
Yeah.
Deshawn.
I thought
Yeah.
he was like only on like local
He's the
television.
uncle
I
of
was
Whit-
like, you know
of,
who Captain Kangaroo is?
Gina Gershon. He's
Okay.
the uncle of. I'm totally lying.
Oh no, I'm thinking of
Bob
Bozo.
Deshawn.
Bozo was from Kalamazoo.
Yeah, Mr.
Michigan.
Green Jeans was on there. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Bozo was from Kalamazoo.
And he had that weird moose. And
I know. Not really. Not from Michigan. There's enough.
So last question I got. Thundercats. What was Lionel's sword called?
oh man.
Sword
Do you know?
I know, because I just
watched
looked up Thundercats last week.
I watched all the Thundercats. I loved those. Once again, I was probably too old for watching those, but my friend and I would come to gym. A lot happened at gym. I didn't do anything except sit around and talk about TV. We apparently, if you look at me, you can tell that. But we would sit and talk about these, and we'd meet up and we'd talk about Voltron and Thundercats.
Okay.
Every day.
Super cool kids.
So
Yep.
anyone remember the name?
Occasionally,
the
Thundar the Barbarian would come into the conversation, but that was not always.
All right.
But I don't remember the sword.
Don't remember the sword name.
No.
Does anybody?
I remember Snarf. Snarf.
Snarf.
Snarf. Yep.
Snarf.
It's a Sword of Omens.
Sword of Omens, yeah.
Sword of Omens.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved Thundercats. Didn't they relaunch that a couple years ago?
Yeah, they did. God, I forgot what year it was, but the
Was it
guy.
called the Thundercats?
It was still called Thundercats.
Or did they just make a
2010?
video game?
We have a
Yeah,
Thundercats
thank you.
Rain Man here now.
And actually,
2010.
there was a character on it called King Claudius, and the guy that did the voice for King Claudius was the original voice for Lionel in the original TV show.
Here's a shameless plug. You interviewed him on
I interviewed him on his Reboot Overdrive. Yeah.
It's an awesome interview, too.
Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out, please go do that.
Well, it's funny, too, because he does the voices as he's talking, and I'm just like, oh, my gosh, he's really versatile. He's excellent.
Yeah, just him being able to go from talking in Lionel's voice to Jackalman, which he also did in the same cartoon. But he also did voices for Sonny the Cocoa Bird for Cocoa Puff cereal.
Okay.
And he also did the voices for Count Chocula. So he was able to do the Thundercat chant, thunder, thunder, Thundercats ho, as Sonny the Cuckoo Bird on our podcast. So check out the podcast; it's on there. It's just it's hilarious.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So Cocoa
Awesome.
Puffs and Thundercats.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
a good band name. Cocoa Puffs and Thundercats.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun to interview. Definitely a lot of fun.
Excellent.
All right, so I think we are done. So this is 80's Reboot Overdrive. If you want to check us out, we have a community page on Facebook, which is facebook.com/80's Reboot. We're also on Tumblr and Twitter of 80's Reboot. Any parting thoughts?
Yeah, well, I just want to say you can also find this show, find Live at the Blue Box and 80's Reboot Overdrive on our website, which is southgatemediagroup.com. Find us on iTunes and Stitcher and really any place you get your podcasts. We'll be there. And if we're not, let us know. Write us an email at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com, and we will make that happen.
All right, thank you for listening, and let's relive the 80s.
Thank you, Blue Box. What an awesome place. Thanks for coming, everybody. You guys are awesome.